Hi, I'm ajhoge, the author of Effortless English. Learn to speak English like a native. Enter your email at effortlessenglish.com and you will get my free audiobook, effortlessenglish.com. I have something special for you today, a new free movie technique lesson. I'm going to use the movie technique to teach you a lot of vocabulary, actually. A lot of vocabulary in this video. This video is from a guy named Paul Joseph Watson. And he's got a great YouTube channel. You can find him on Twitter. His channel name is Prison Planet. Prison Planet. He is a very passionate, very excited guy. And he is focused on showing how the media, right? The corporate media, television, newspapers, magazines, the companies that in dollars that control all of these media companies. Well, Prison Planet, his channel, focuses on exposing, showing the lies in the media. So he does lots of different ones, lots of different videos, and he does articles, but mostly videos about how the media is lying to us. And this one's a great one. It's called Dear Mainstream Media. Mainstream media means corporate media, right? It means the big corporate media, like the BBC, CNN in the United States, NBC, ABC, Disney, those just super gigantic companies that control most of the television stations and newspapers and magazines in the world. Now, this particular video is about how the media in America, and really the world, has been lying during this election, this American election between Donald Trump and Hillary Clinton. Now, there's just no doubt the media, these big companies, support Hillary Clinton. They want Hillary Clinton to win. And they are just completely lying, and they're completely unfair in their news. They're telling complete lies, 100% lies about Donald Trump, and they're also hiding a lot of things about Clinton. Now, this isn't really about Trump and Clinton exactly. It's really more about the general idea that the media is lying to us about everything. So this is not it's not pro-Trump. I don't even know if Watson is Paul Joseph Watson is his full name. I don't even know if he actually supports Trump, but he really does not like Hillary. I don't like Hillary either. She's definitely super corrupt and has done some really horrible things. And clearly the big corporations, the big banks, the big media, they really, really, really want her to win. And so there are all these lies in the media. And that's why it's kind of good to study the media and the American election, because the lies are so obvious. Now, this is a fairly difficult video. I just reviewed the video. There's so many vocabulary words. So actually, I will need probably three or four shows to teach all of this video, because there's just so much vocabulary in it. He uses some idioms, he uses some slang. There will be curse words, swear words, bad words also. So if you don't want to hear those, turn it off now. But that's real English. Now, another cool thing, he is British, so he has a British accent. I am American, American accent. So you're getting two accents at the same time. You can kind of learn to understand and hear that British accent from him and the American accent from me. Luckily, his accent is a very standard kind of British accent, easy to understand, and I have a very standard American accent. So finally, again, it doesn't matter. Even if you hate Donald Trump, it doesn't matter. This is not supposed to be a pro-Trump lesson or pro-Hillary. It's really an anti-media. That's the point. Because, the same lies that we're going to see and the same kind of techniques that the media uses, the big corporate media, they have been using my whole life. So they did the same kind of lies to support George Bush years ago. Every war during my lifetime, the media has lied to get Americans to want war. Right? They lied to us again and again and again about Iraq. They told us that they probably had nuclear weapons and that Iraq wanted to attack America. These were clear lies. I mean, they were obvious lies. There was a lot of proof, a lot of evidence that they were lies. But the corporate media, the big media, ignored the evidence, ignored the proof, ignored the truth. They told these lies, and they knew they were lies because they wanted America to go to war. And, they do this in everything. Health news. You can't trust the health news. Here in the news that, oh, this food is bad for you. This food is good for you. This exercise is bad. This exercise is good. You cannot trust that if it comes from the big media. Why? Because the people who do those studies, the research about, oh, this food's bad, this food's good, they're paid by companies like Coke, like Pepsi, like the big drug companies. So those studies, they're not honest. That's why you can't really trust them. You can much more trust small, independent people like Prison Planet, but don't just trust one person. Everyone has their kind of viewpoint. So Paul Joseph Watson, he has his own viewpoint. He clearly doesn't like Hillary Clinton. But so you need several of these. You need to find lots of independent sources, not sources, but smaller citizen journalists, citizen experts who aren't getting money from big corporations. That's how you can begin to find more of the truth. So some of them might be more liberal, like Greenwald, one of the guys that helped Edward Snowden. He's much more liberal, but he's independent. So he's going to show much more of the truth. This guy, I don't think Prison Planet is really conservative. I think he's more kind of libertarian, is my guess, which just means he wants freedom for everybody. And there might be other websites that are more conservative, like Breitbart or Drudge. So you have to sample from a lot of these different ones, these little smaller independent ones, then you start to get more of the truth. You'll never get the truth from the mainstream media, from the corporate media. Lies, lies, and more lies. Okay, so let's go through the video. Lots of vocabulary. I'll do a couple minutes of the video, and I'll play a little bit, pause, then I'll explain what he said, I'll explain the vocabulary, then I'll keep going. And little by little, piece by piece, we'll go through the first maybe 2 minutes of this video. In part 2, I'll start in the middle and we'll keep going, and maybe we need 3 or 4 parts to finish the whole video. Let's start.
Dear mainstream media.
What? Dear mainstream media. So it's like a letter, like he's speaking to the corporate media.
Why do you still insult our intelligence?
Why do you still insult our intelligence? This is a common idiom or phrase in English, to insult intelligence. It means that you do something because you believe the other person is stupid. So he's saying, dear corporate media, big media, why do you think we're stupid? Why do you act like we're stupid? Why do you insult our intelligence by lying to us?
By claiming to be impartial.
By claiming to be impartial. You're insulting our intelligence. You think we're stupid because you claim to be impartial. Impartial means fair. Fair to all sides. Right? And so the big media, they pretend to be impartial. They pretend they're fair to everybody, but they're not. They're just not.
The WikiLeaks email dump has exposed the fact that you're pretty much a public relations firm for Hillary Clinton.
He says, when the WikiLeaks email dump has exposed the fact that you are pretty much a public relations firm for Hillary Clinton. Ooh, that's a long sentence. The WikiLeaks dump, part 1. WikiLeaks is a group that tries to get secrets from governments and companies too, to show the truth, to show when they're doing bad things. So they got some emails from Hillary Clinton's campaign to show what she actually thinks and what they are actually doing. So email dump means, an email dump means a large amount of emails suddenly. Like an information dump, it means you release a lot of information suddenly. The dump part means a big amount suddenly. So WikiLeaks, this group, they put out a big number of emails, an email dump, from Hillary Clinton and Hillary Clinton's campaign, her staff. And those emails show that Clinton is the corporate media, that they are working together to help her get elected. The emails show that. It's her own emails. So he's saying, why are you ignoring these emails? And the media is basically ignoring them, or ignoring most of them.
You're not journalists, you're prostitute.
You're not journalists, you're prostitutes. So a journalist is someone, who covers the news, who writes the news, a reporter, for example. There's a new kind of slang phrase. He says, you're not journalists, you're prostitutes. Press means news, but the prostitute, it sounds like prostitute. So it's kind of a slang term. A prostitute is a woman who takes money for sex, right? You give her money, she'll have sex with you. So this new phrase, this slang, prostitute, it describes reporters who take money from Hillary Clinton, for example, or from big companies, and then they write stories, right? And they're writing the stories secretly because they took this money, they took bribes. So they're called prostitutes. So they're like prostitute journalists.
You're fucking sellout hacks.
You're fucking sellout hacks. Okay. A sellout is someone who does bad things for money. Someone who starts to become rich or famous, and then they just do things for money only. They don't care about the truth. They don't care about art. We can use this phrase sellout, or this word sellout, to describe an artist, like a musician. Like maybe when they were smaller, poor, they were really great, right? They were really great, right? They made great music. They cared about the quality of the music. But when they become famous, they just want the money, and then their music quality goes down, down, down. They're just trying to make a lot of money. That's a sellout. So he says, you're sellout hacks. A hack is a writer who is low quality. Someone who writes low quality stuff. Especially someone who writes low quality stuff for money.
Thought you wouldn't get caught prostrating yourselves for Team Hillary.
You thought you wouldn't get caught prostrating yourselves for Team Hillary. You thought you wouldn't get caught. So he's saying the corporate media, they thought the secret would never be exposed, right? They did not expect WikiLeaks be exposed, right? They did not expect WikiLeaks to get these emails. So they thought this will always be a secret. Nobody will know we're taking money from Hillary. We're writing stories for her, working for her, right? So you thought you'd never get caught. Prostrating yourself is the next part. To prostrate yourself means to lie down. It usually means to like you're obeying or praying to someone. Like if if you're praying, you might lie down on the ground, prostrate yourself to God or to Buddha or something, right? You're putting yourself lower. Now, when you're praying, that's a good thing. But it can also mean if you do it to a person, if you go do that, you lie down in front of a person, it means you are weaker than them. You're showing you are obedient to them. So he's saying journalists, the news, the corporate media, they're bowing down, bowing to Team Hillary, meaning Hillary Clinton and her staff.
Well, you have been caught, and it's fucking sickening.
He says, well, you have been caught, and it's fucking sickening. Now, this word fucking just adds emotion, okay? That's all it's doing. It just makes the emotion stronger. In this case, he's angry, so it makes the anger stronger. Sickening means disgusting, terrible, right? He's saying what you are doing, taking money from Hillary, working with her secretly, it's disgusting. It's sickening.
Handing questions to Hillary 24 hours before a town hall debate.
Handing questions to Hillary 24 hours before a town hall debate. So now he's giving examples and prove what they were doing. So before the debate, it's a town hall debate. It's just the type of debate. Debate is like an argument, right? So we had the presidential debates, Trump versus Clinton. Well, they were giving Clinton the questions a day before the debate so she could prepare. She knew what questions were coming. They did not give the questions to Donald Trump, and the emails show this. And these are emails from Hillary Clinton's staff.
Giving Hillary's campaign staff veto power over your articles.
Giving Hillary's campaign staff, her workers, veto power over their articles, over your articles. It means veto power means they could say no. So the New York Times and all these other big media, they would write a story about Hillary, then they would show her story and say, is this okay? If her staff did not like it, they would not show it. So she could veto it, she could cancel it. Veto power means cancel power, cancellation power. So they could say if she didn't like articles about her, then her staff could just say no, and then they never showed the stories.
Lavishing her with praise and saying the story you're writing about her is the one that she wants.
Lavishing her with praise and saying the story you're writing about her is one that she wants. To lavish with praise. Lavish means to give a lot. It really means kind of to give too much of something. If you lavish someone with money, it means you give them lots and lots of money, really too much money. Lavish with praise means giving too much praise. Saying the journalists, the writers, the reporters, the TV people, they're giving her all this praise, saying these things, good things about her too much because they're working with her campaign, we now know. And writing stories that she wants. So they're trying to make stories that Hillary Clinton wants.
Scheming with Team Hillary to write op-eds that would give her a, quote, big present.
Scheming with Team Hillary to give her op-eds that would give her a big presence. Scheming with means planning with. Scheming, planning. But scheming has the idea of secretly planning. So the journalists, the big media, were secretly planning with Team Hillary, with Hillary's staff, to write op-ed pieces. Piece here means an article. Op-ed pieces. Piece here means an article, a story, pieces. Op-ed means opinion editorial. It's a short way to say this, opinion editorial. It's a kind of story in a newspaper where the reporter just gives their opinion, like, Donald Trump sucks and Clinton is great, or make marijuana legal or make it illegal, whatever, right? And so he's saying these media companies were working with and are working with Clinton to write lots of these opinion pieces, opinion stories about her in a positive way, to give her a big presence. That's the quote from the email. Give her a big presence means, like the impact, influence, right? So to help get all these, right? So to help get all these positive stories out there. So there was a big feeling like everybody loves Hillary.
Allowing Hillary's campaign to place stories with you as they literally describe you as friendlies.
Okay, allowing Hillary's team to place stories with you as they literally describe you as friendlies. So the big media, again, the WikiLeaks emails show, they let Hillary's team actually write the stories, and then they would publish them pretending that it was the TV show doing it, or it was the newspaper doing it, but actually written by Hillary's staff.
Teeing up stories to benefit Hillary.
Teeing up stories to benefit Hillary. Here's another nice idiom, to tee up, or teeing up. This comes from golf. When you play golf, when you start, first thing you do, you have a tee. It's a little piece of wood. You put it in the ground and you put the ball on top of it, right? And then you hit it. That's what you do for the first stroke, the first hit. So in a general way, to tee up something means to prepare something. So teeing up stories means preparing stories, getting stories ready for Hillary.
Going to John Podesta's house for cozy dinners.
Going to John Podesta's house for cozy dinners. John Podesta is her campaign manager. He's the boss of Hillary's team. So all these journalists, lots and lots and lots and lots of them from these big companies, going to his house and having cozy dinners. Cozy means very close. It's almost like romantic. Cherished by Hillary. Cherished by means loved by. Being loved by Hillary.
Like you're her secret crush.
Like you're her secret crush. A crush is like a strong feeling of love. It's usually a short feeling, right? It's not deep. It's like teenagers, right? They usually have crushes. They suddenly, oh, I really love him, or oh, I really love her. Oh, that's a crush. So it's like the media people have a crush for Hillary.
Never Trumpers.
Never Trumpers. These are people that the media interviews that say, oh, we can never have Trump. So they give them lots of interviews.
Was it really worth trashing your entire careers and shitting on your audience?
Was it really worth your entire careers and shitting on your audience? So trashing your careers. Trashing means destroying. Was it worth destroying your careers? He's saying because now we know the truth, people will not trust them. Now people are waking up. They don't trust the media. They realize they're lying to them. So these journalists, their careers are going to be destroyed because of this. So trashing their careers. Shitting on your audience means insulting your audience, being rude to your audience, being terrible to your audience.
Just so you could pretend to be part of the establishment.
Just so you could pretend to be part of the establishment. The establishment, when we use this phrase, especially with the establishment, the establishment, that means the big power, the elite, right? The super, huge, powerful groups.
Louise Mench, a self-proclaimed conservative.
Louise Mench, a self-proclaimed conservative. This is a woman who pretended to be conservative. She pretended to be Republican. She was self-proclaimed. Self-proclaimed is when you say something about yourself. Like if I say, I am a Republican. It means I'm a self-proclaimed Republican. Who said I was Republican? I did, right? I proclaim means to say, okay, to say loudly. So I'm just saying about myself. So this woman said that she was a conservative, but in secret, so she was a journalist also, but secretly she was working with Hillary.
Exposed as a Hillary sycophant.
Exposed as a Hillary sycophant. There's a nice word. Working with Hillary.
Exposed as a Hillary sycophant.
Exposed as a Hillary sycophant. There's a nice word. Sycophant. That's a big vocabulary word. A sycophant. A sycophant is somebody who gives a lot of praise and flattery, who says good things to someone all the time. Right? It's kind of the idea, if you know Lord of the Rings, there's a character called Wormtongue in that movie, in those books. He's always whispering, saying, oh, you're so wonderful, you're so, kind of like whispering nice things all the time, right? It's someone it's this idea, you're kind of worshiping someone who's stronger. So if there's someone strong, they have sycophants around them. Another common phrase is yes men, or yes women. They just always say, yes, 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 oh yes, you're so great. Oh, negative word.
Writing emails begging to write campaign ads for her.
Writing emails begging to write campaign ads for her. So this woman, Louise Mench, publicly, she was pretending, oh, I'm a conservative, I'm a Republican. But in private, secretly, she was working with Hillary and asking, oh, please let me work with you and write advertisements for you.
Average retweets per tweet, 1,896.
So he's saying my average retweets on Twitter, 1,896 for each one. That's for Prison Planet.
Louise Mensch's average retweets per tweet, 4.
So Louise Mensch's, this kind of lying woman's retweets, she only gets an average of 4. So he's saying she's not very influential. People don't really believe her or listen to her.
No one resonates with your bullshit.
No one resonates with your bullshit. So many phrases. I told you this whole video is full of phrases. No one resonates with your bullshit. Okay, to resonate with means to connect with, to have a positive feeling with, a connection, a feeling of connection. Resonate with. So no one feels a connection with her bullshit. Bullshit means lies, basically. Lies, bullshit.
I mean, at least Politico's Glenn Thrush had the honesty to admit...
At least Politico's Glenn Thrush, another journalist who's in these emails, he honestly, in the emails, admitted...
that he was a hack.
That he was a hack. Again, a hack is a low-quality paid writer.
The rest of you going to come clean and admit that you're taking it up the ass from Hillary.
Okay. This is a fun phrase. When are the rest of you going to come clean and admit that you're taking it up the ass from Team Hillary? The second one's a very rude phrase. Let's start with the first one. When are you going to come clean? To come clean means to be honest, to be open and honest. So if someone's lying to you and you know they're lying, you could say, look, just come clean with me. Just come clean. It means just tell the truth. Just be honest. So he's saying to the corporate media, when are you going to be honest? When are you going to come clean and admit and say you are taking it up the ass for Team Hillary? I'm laughing. It's a funny phrase. Okay, taking it up the ass is very rude. Don't say it to your parents. Don't say it in most business situations, but laughing. It's a funny phrase. Okay, taking it up the ass is very rude. Don't say it to your parents. Don't say it in most business situations, but if you are taking it up the ass from someone, it means you are being abused by someone. You're being used by someone, or you're being abused by someone. So he's saying the media, they are being used by Hillary. They are being abused by Hillary. Hillary's the strong, dominant one, and she's pushing them around, telling them what to do. She's abusing them. They are being abused. They are taking it up the ass. And you can kind of imagine where that phrase comes from.
Podesta and the rest of the Democratic Party establishment on a daily basis.
So he's saying you're taking it up the ass from Team Hillary and Podesta, Team Hillary's boss, and the rest of the Democratic establishment, the Democrat.
Journalist donations, $382,000 to Hillary, only $14,000 to Trump.
Okay, so journalist donations, there was this study showing how much money did journalists give to each candidate. So almost $400,000 they are giving to Hillary and only $14,000 to Trump. So again, it shows clearly they are for Hillary.
There's no media bias, though.
There's no media bias, though. He's being sarcastic. So it's because, the news, the corporate media, the big media, they always say, oh, we have no bias, we are impartial. Now, bias means like unfair support for one side. Bias is the opposite of impartial or impartiality, really. So bias means actually you favor one side. You're supporting just one side unfairly, not both sides.
Yeah, right. Dear mainstream media, why is Donald Trump a crazy, dangerous conspiracy theorist for talking about a rigged system?
Okay, dear mainstream media, why is Donald Trump a crazy conspiracy theorist for talking about a rigged election? Back to the beginning. Okay, a conspiracy theorist, crazy conspiracy theorist. Theorist means, theory, idea. Conspiracy. A conspiracy is a secret plan, and it usually is a kind of a negative plan, right? So, for example, it's a conspiracy theory. It's the idea that powerful people are secretly doing bad things, right? So they're saying in the media, they try to make Trump that all these crazy things. He believes that the media is unfair, for example.
Donald Trump's biggest lie is about the election itself, the integrity of the election.
Donald Trump's biggest lie is about the election itself, about the integrity of the election. The integrity of means the honesty of, the fairness of the election. So Donald Trump is saying this is not a fair election. The media is lying. The voting machines are owned by George Soros, who's this huge billionaire who is giving tons and tons and tons of money to Hillary Clinton, and he controls the voting machines, the computers. His company owns those. So Donald Trump's talking about that, and this guy's saying Donald Trump is crazy to talk about this.
He is alleging a massive conspiracy. He is alleging a massive conspiracy.
He's alleging a massive conspiracy. To allege means to claim. To claim. All right, is to say, to claim. He's claiming a massive, huge, big conspiracy, secret plan.
The system, folks, is rigged.
The system, folks, is rigged. The system, meaning the media, the government, corporations. Folks means people. Is rigged. Rigged means, how to explain rigged? Rigged means like it's kind of cheating. It's set up for cheating, right? It's unfair. It's secretly for one side only. I'll give you an example. Let's say in a back playing, the big championship game, and maybe the referee, they always give a bad call, a bad penalty to one side, and only one side, right? So then the fans would say, oh, this game is rigged. This game is rigged, right? It's unfair. It's set up to be unfair, right? They're trying to make this one team lose and let the other team win.
Of course the elections will not be rigged. What does that mean?
But when Democrats talk about a rigged system, they're paragons of wisdom.
He says, but when Democrats talk about a rigged system, they are paragons of wisdom. So he's saying if Donald Trump talks about a rigged system, the media attacks him and says he's crazy. But when Democrats, the other side, say the exact same thing, the system is rigged, then the media says they are paragons of wisdom. A paragon is an excellent example, an excellent model, right, of something. So they are super wise, they're super smart. The media says the Democrats who say this are smart, but if Trump says exactly the same thing, he's crazy. And then now we have some quotes from Democrats saying exactly the same thing when they were having problems.
Sense of a rigged system.
The game is rigged against them.
So there's a sense the game is rigged.
This is what a rigged economy is about.
Rigged system.
They'll do anything to rig the system for those at the top.
The game is rigged.
How can you claim that vote fraud is not a thing, while top Democratic Party operatives are on tape?
How can you claim that vote fraud is not a thing? Vote fraud means vote cheating. How can you say that vote cheating is not a thing? I mean, tape, there's video.
Bragging about how they carry out vote fraud.
When there's video of Democrat officials on video recorded bragging about. So bragging about means they're kind of laughing about, right? When you brag about, it means you're saying something loudly that you think is good about you. Haha, I did it, right? So they're bragging about how they carried out. Carried out means performed. How they performed vote fraud, vote cheating. Okay, whew. My goodness, I think that's enough. That's a lot of vocabulary in a very short time. That's like just 2.5 minutes and a lot of phrases, a lot of vocabulary. Now look, this is going to be difficult. You probably will not understand and remember all of this after just one time. Okay, it's too much for one time. So I encourage you, watch this lesson many times. You know, you'll need some time. Watch it again and again and again and again and again. Listen to my explanations. And then little by little, you'll learn all of the vocabulary. Then after that, after you learn all the vocabulary from my lesson, then try to watch the Prison Planet, the original Prison Planet video. So on YouTube, it's just Prison Planet, one word. You can find it. The name of the video is Dear Mainstream Media. So play this lesson many, many times. Part 2 is coming soon, part 3, maybe part 4. I'll teach you the whole video, all the vocabulary really well as I teach it to you slowly. And then watch the original video only. Then you have to catch it as he says it very, very fast. That also will take time. So you'll probably, after that, watch the original video many times until you can catch all of those words and phrases quickly and instantly. This is how you learn with a movie. This is how you learn with a video. You have to learn it deeply. You have to go piece by piece, very patiently. You've got to do deep learning, so you got to repeat that again and again and again, each piece. And then you got to do the whole piece and listen to that many, many, many times. And in that way, you will really, truly learn so much vocabulary. Your listening ability will improve so much. But you have to have the patience to do this technique. Little piece by little piece, repeating many, many, many times. That's the secret to truly learning English, truly improving your English with videos, TV shows, and movies. So you gotta have that repetition. The text for this lesson will be on my blog in a few days. Go to effortlessenglishclub.com, effortlessenglishclub.com. At the bottom of the menu, click on the blog, and then you will get the free text. You can download the text, this whole lesson, so you can read everything I'm saying. All right, I will see you